The massive Nexarian vessels appeared without warning, materializing just beyond Luna's orbit in a spectacular display of advanced technology. Their arrival cast writhing shadows across Earth's surface as their hull configurations shifted and changed, like liquid metal frozen in perpetual motion. The world held its breath, all eyes turned skyward to witness humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the United Earth Defense Command Center, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the fleet's position. As Earth's leading xenolinguist, she had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing theoretical frameworks for alien communication. Now reality was about to put all her theories to the test. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies," announced Captain James Rodriguez, his fingers dancing across the quantum interface. "The signal pattern matches no known configuration." Maya stepped forward, her mind already processing the complex mathematical sequences embedded within the transmission. "It's a first contact protocol," she said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "They're requesting direct communication with Earth's leadership." The United Earth Council convened within hours, faces both anxious and excited as they gathered in the Geneva complex. The Nexarians' holographic representative materialized in the center of the chamber, a towering figure with crystalline features that seemed to ripple with internal light. It called itself Ambassador Zixtal. "We come in peace," it proclaimed in perfectly synthesized English, "seeking to share knowledge and technology with your species." The words were honey-sweet, promising advancement beyond humanity's wildest dreams. But Maya noticed something in the aliens' subtonal frequencies, a discord that sent chills down her spine. For 3 months, the Nexarians shared technological glimpses that revolutionized several fields of human science. Quantum computing breakthroughs, advanced medical procedures, and revolutionary energy systems were gifted to humanity. World leaders celebrated this new era of prosperity and advancement. Few noticed the subtle changes taking place in the background. Maya did. Working late one night in her lab, she discovered encrypted patterns hidden within the alien transmissions, commands being sent to slowly infiltrating nanobots that had been seeded through the shared technology. The Nexarians' generous gifts were Trojan horses designed to prepare Earth for conquest from within. She took her findings to Admiral Sarah Chen, the newly appointed commander of Earth's unified defense forces. The Admiral's face grew grave as she reviewed the evidence. "How long do we have?" "Days, maybe hours," Maya replied. "Their fleet positions have been shifting." What looked like diplomatic positioning was actually tactical deployment. "They're preparing for a full-scale invasion." Admiral Chen's response was immediate and decisive. "Activate Protocol Omega," she ordered, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's survival. "It's time to show these aliens that humanity isn't as defenseless as they think." Across the globe, hidden military installations hummed to life. While the Nexarians had been studying Earth's official defense capabilities, humanity had been keeping secrets of its own. Underground quantum factories began producing advanced weaponry developed in absolute secrecy. Orbital platforms disguised as communication satellites revealed their true nature as defense stations. The Nexarians struck at dawn, their ships suddenly transforming from elegant diplomatic vessels into weapons of war. Energy beams lanced toward Earth's major cities, only to be met by previously invisible shield barriers. Their infiltration programs crashed against quantum firewalls that humanity had developed in isolation from their gifted technology. Admiral Chen stood in the command center, watching as the real battle for Earth began. "Send the message," she ordered. Maya stepped forward, broadcasting on all frequencies. "You thought us primitive, easy prey for your deception. You studied our official capabilities but missed our greatest strength, humanity's relentless drive to survive and thrive. You're not the first to underestimate us. You will be the latest to regret it." The shield protecting Geneva flickered as it absorbed another Nexarian barrage. Maya looked up at the tactical display, watching as humanity's hidden fleets emerged from their camouflaged positions around the globe. The real war was about to begin, and Earth wasn't going down without a fight. Admiral Chen's voice rang out clear and determined. All units, execute Operation Stormbreak. Show them what humanity can really do. The Nexarian fleet's initial assault illuminated Earth's atmosphere with devastating energy weapons, but their confidence faltered as humanity's true defensive capabilities emerged from shadows decades in the making. Deep beneath the Himalayas, Dr. Marcus Zhang watched holographic displays spring to life as quantum computers activated weapon systems that had never seen the light of day. Quantum shield grid at 98% capacity, he reported to Admiral Chen, his voice steady despite the stakes. The Nexarians' energy weapons are actually charging our defensive matrix rather than depleting it. A satisfied smile crossed his weathered face. They didn't even consider that we might have developed quantum energy conversion technology independently. Above the Earth, the Nexarian fleet's formation began to splinter as their weapons proved ineffective against humanity's shields. Ambassador Zixtel's voice crackled through the emergency channel, its previous diplomatic smoothness replaced by barely contained rage. This is impossible. Your species lacks the technological advancement for such defenses. Admiral Chen's response was cold and precise. You studied our public face, Ambassador. You never bothered to look deeper. She nodded to Marcus. Show them what else we've been keeping under wraps. Across the globe, mountain ranges split open to reveal massive rail gun installations. Desert sands parted as missile silos emerged from camouflaged bunkers. The ocean's surface rippled as submarine carriers surfaced, launching swarms of quantum-powered fighters. Humanity's hidden arsenal, developed in absolute secrecy over decades of paranoid preparation, was finally revealed. Maya Patel worked frantically at her console, analyzing the Nexarian communications. They're calling for reinforcements, she announced. But there's something else. Their tactical networks are experiencing unexpected feedback from our quantum fields. Their neural-linked command structure is becoming unstable. Marcus's eyes lit up with understanding. The quantum resonance effect. Our defensive grid isn't just blocking their weapons, it's interfering with their biotechnological integration. Their entire fleet operates as a single networked consciousness. In orbit, the first wave of Earth's quantum fighters engaged the Nexarian vessels. The alien ships were larger and more heavily armed, but the human craft moved with impossible agility, their quantum drives allowing them to partially phase out of normal spacetime. Where the Nexarians expected primitive kinetic weapons, they found themselves facing graviton beams and temporal distortion torpedoes. Multiple Nexarian capital ships have lost shield coherence, reported Captain Rodriguez from his tactical station. Their adaptive armor can't compensate for weapons they didn't know existed. Targeting solutions are being distributed to all combat units. Admiral Chen watched as humanity's counterattack unfolded with mechanical precision. Launch the Artemis swarms, she commanded. Across Earth's surface, thousands of small, autonomous drones took flight. Each carried a miniaturized quantum core, allowing them to penetrate Nexarian shields by briefly shifting out of phase with normal matter. The alien fleet's formation dissolved into chaos as swarms of quantum drones breached their defenses, disabling crucial systems from within. Their supposedly impenetrable neural network became a vulnerability as quantum interference cascaded through their linked consciousness, causing cascade failures across multiple ships. Ambassador Zixtel's final transmission betrayed genuine fear. What are you? How did you develop these technologies without our detection? Maya's response was firm. We are humanity. We've spent our entire history preparing for threats we couldn't even confirm existed. Paranoia and innovation are part of our DNA. Marcus monitored the quantum grid's power levels as Earth's defense platforms unleashed their full potential. Space itself seemed to warp around the Nexarian vessels as gravitational weapons bent reality to humanity's will. Their fleet is attempting to retreat, he announced. The quantum disruption has compromised their faster-than-light capabilities. Admiral Chen's expression remained stern. Don't let them escape. If they report back to their homeworld, we'll face an even larger invasion force. Deploy the temporal anchor. The massive device, hidden in lunar orbit, activated with a pulse that rippled through space-time. The Nexarian ships found themselves trapped in a localized temporal field, their retreat cut off by humanity's mastery of quantum mechanics. As Earth's forces pressed their advantage, Maya detected something troubling in the Nexarian communications. "Admiral," she called out, her voice tense. "They're activating some kind of emergency protocol. The energy signatures. They're unlike anything we've seen before." Marcus confirmed her reading with growing concern. "Whatever they're planning, it's causing massive distortions in the quantum field. This isn't over yet." Admiral Chen surveyed the tactical display, watching as the trapped Nexarian fleet began to emit strange energy patterns. "All units, maintain pressure but proceed with caution. Phase 2 of this battle is about to begin, and I suspect our visitors have a few surprises of their own." The trapped Nexarian fleet underwent a horrifying transformation. Their ships merged and reconfigured, metallic surfaces flowing like mercury until they formed a massive geometric structure that pulsed with otherworldly energy. The temporal anchor's field wavered as space itself began to distort around the alien megastructure. Admiral Chen watched the tactical display with growing concern as new readings flooded in. Dr. Zhang. Analysis. Marcus's fingers flew across his quantum interface, processing the data. "They're generating some form of hyperdimensional field. It's not just counteracting our temporal anchor, it's creating a cascade effect that could tear apart our entire defensive grid." 10 minutes until total shield failure, Captain Rodriguez announced, his voice tense. "The quantum resonance is becoming unstable across all frequencies." Maya's eyes suddenly widened as she decoded a new pattern in the Nexarian communications. "Admiral, they're not just attacking our defenses. They're trying to create a rupture in space-time large enough to pull in their reinforcement fleet. They had a backup plan all along." Admiral Chen's face hardened with determination. "Then we execute our backup plan. Initiate Operation Thunderstrike." She opened a secure channel to all Earth defense commands. "All units prepare for dimensional shift. Synchronize quantum cores on my mark." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only to a handful of people, humanity's most closely guarded secret hummed to life. The Prometheus engine, a massive quantum reactor capable of manipulating the fabric of reality itself, began its activation sequence. "Prometheus engine online," Marcus reported. "But Admiral, we've never tested it at full power. The calculations suggest a 40% chance of catastrophic failure and a 100% chance of defeat if we do nothing," Chen responded. "Maya, send the evacuation order to all forward units. Dr. Zhang, begin the power transfer sequence. Captain Rodriguez, coordinate our remaining fighters for the synchronized strike." Across Earth's defense grid, quantum cores pulsed in harmony as power was redirected to the Prometheus engine. The Nexarian megastructure continued its ominous transformation, the hyperdimensional field growing stronger with each passing moment. 5 minutes to shield failure, Rodriguez updated. The first signs of spatial rupturing are appearing. Maya worked frantically at her station, trying to predict the enemy's next move. Their communication patterns are changing again. I think they're preparing for something big." The air in the command center grew thick with tension as the countdown continued. Marcus monitored the Prometheus engine's power levels, which were climbing far faster than their simulations had predicted. "Admiral, the quantum harmonics are exceeding safety parameters. If we don't initiate soon, we risk losing control entirely." Admiral Chen stood resolute, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "All units, begin final approach. Operation Thunderstrike commences in 3, 2, 1. Execute." The Prometheus engine released its power in a massive quantum surge that rippled through reality. Every human ship and defense platform activated their quantum cores simultaneously, creating a complex web of intersecting fields that encompassed the entire battle zone. The effect was immediate and spectacular. The fabric of space-time folded in on itself, creating a quantum mirror effect that trapped the Nexarian megastructure in a self-reflecting loop of its own hyperdimensional energy. "It's working," Marcus exclaimed. "Their field is collapsing in on itself. The spatial rupture is being contained." But the Nexarians weren't finished. The megastructure began to pulse with a new kind of energy, its surface sprouting crystalline formations that sparked with violent discharges of power. "They're attempting to break free," Maya warned. "Their neural network is adapting to the quantum mirror effect." Admiral Chen's voice cut through the chaos. "Deploy the graviton charges. All ships. Execute attack pattern Delta 7. She turned to Marcus. "Doctor, prepare to overload the Prometheus engine on my command." "Admiral, that would create a quantum singularity," he protested. "We'd be risking the entire solar system." "Better that than letting them succeed in bringing their main fleet here," she replied grimly. "Sometimes you have to be willing to sacrifice everything to save everything." The battle reached its crescendo as Earth's forces launched their final assault. Graviton charges detonated in carefully calculated patterns, creating a complex gravitational dance that further destabilized the Nexarian structure. Human fighters darted through the chaos, their quantum drives allowing them to strike from multiple dimensional angles simultaneously. The Nexarian megastructure began to break apart, its perfectly geometric form twisting and fracturing under the combined assault. But as it disintegrated, it released a final burst of energy that threatened to tear apart the very fabric of spacetime. "Quantum breach detected," Rodriguez shouted. "Something's coming through." Through the swirling maelstrom of distorted spacetime, massive shapes began to emerge. The leading edge of the Nexarian reinforcement fleet. Earth's forces had won their first battle, but the war was about to enter a new phase, one that would test humanity's resolve to its very limits. As the first ships of the Nexarian reinforcement fleet pushed through the quantum breach, Earth's command center erupted into chaos. Warning signals blared as systems across the defense grid began failing in seemingly random patterns. Admiral Chen watched in growing horror as their carefully coordinated defense network started to crumble from within. "Status report," she demanded, her voice cutting through the pandemonium. Marcus's face had gone pale as he studied the quantum readings. "Someone's accessing our core systems using authenticated command codes. We're being sabotaged from the inside." Maya's fingers flew across her console, tracing the source of the breach. "The access points are scattered across multiple facilities. This isn't the work of a single infiltrator. It's a coordinated attack." "How is this possible?" Rodriguez questioned, struggling to maintain tactical control of their remaining forces. All command-level personnel were screened with quantum bioscanners. "Because they're not all infiltrators," Maya replied, her voice tight with realization. "Remember the nanobots in their gift technology? They weren't just gathering data. They were manipulating their hosts on a subatomic level. Some of our own people have been unknowingly compromised." Admiral Chen's mind raced through the implications. The Nexarians hadn't just planned for military resistance. They'd prepared for a complete systemic takeover. "Activate emergency protocol blackout," she ordered. "Sever all quantum network connections. Every facility goes into standalone mode immediately." But the damage was already done. Across Earth's defense grid, shield generators failed, weapon systems went offline, and communication channels dissolved into static. The reinforcement fleet, now fully emerged from the breach, began methodically dismantling humanity's remaining orbital defenses. Deep in the Himalayan facility, Marcus worked frantically to isolate their quantum cores from the compromised network. "Admiral, I've detected an anomaly in the Prometheus engine's containment field. Someone's trying to trigger an overload." Chen sprinted to the quantum core control room, Maya and Rodriguez close behind. They found Dr. Sarah Wells, one of their senior quantum physicists, hunched over the main console. Her movements were jerky, unnatural, as she input commands with inhuman speed. "Sarah, step away from the console," Chen commanded, drawing her sidearm. Wells turned, and they saw her eyes, Crystalline structures had begun growing across her face, pulsing with the same energy signature as the Nexarian ships. When she spoke, her voice was a disturbing harmony of human and alien tones. You cannot stop the convergence. Humanity will be elevated, whether you choose to accept it or not. Maya stepped forward, her hand outstretched. Sarah, if you're still in there, fight it. The nanobots haven't completely overtaken your neural pathways yet. The altered scientist laughed, a sound like breaking glass. Fight it? Why would I fight evolution? The Nexarians aren't here to destroy humanity. They're here to perfect it, to merge our species into something greater. By stealing our free will, Rodriguez challenged. That's not evolution, it's extinction. Wells' fingers continued their dance across the console, and warning lights began flashing throughout the facility. The Prometheus engine's containment field is collapsing, Marcus reported from his tablet. If we don't stop her, the quantum cascade will tear apart the planet's crust. Admiral Chen took aim, her hand steady. Sarah, please, don't make me do this. For a moment, something flickered in Wells' crystalline eyes, a glimpse of humanity fighting through the alien control. Her movements faltered, giving Maya the opening she needed. The xenolinguist lunged forward, pressing a quantum disruptor against Wells' neck. The scientist convulsed as the device sent targeted pulses through her nervous system, disrupting the nanobot's control network. Marcus rushed to the console, his fingers flying as he worked to stabilize the Prometheus engine. Containment restored, he announced after several tense moments. But we've lost control of 30% of our defense grid. The compromised facilities are completely locked down. Chen helped Maya lower Wells' unconscious form to the floor. How many others have been converted? Based on the network access patterns, I estimate at least 50 high-level personnel across our global facilities. Maya replied grimly. Maybe more we haven't detected yet. And our orbital situation. Rodriguez pulled up a tactical display. The reinforcement fleet is holding position just beyond lunar orbit. They're deploying some kind of massive structure, similar to the megastructure from before, but much larger. Chen studied the display, her mind working through their dwindling options. Earth's most powerful weapons were offline, their command structure was compromised, and an overwhelming alien force hung above their heads like a sword of Damocles. But as she looked at her remaining team, human ingenuity and determination personified, she felt a spark of hope. The Nexarians think they've beaten us, she said, her voice gaining strength. They believe their technology and their infiltration have left us helpless, but they've made one critical mistake. They still don't understand what humanity is truly capable of when pushed to the brink. She turned to her team, her eyes blazing with purpose. We're going to show them why you should never corner a species that turned its own planet into a fortress. Maya, I need you to find a way to detect and neutralize the converted personnel. Marcus, work on a way to purge the nanobots from their systems. Rodriguez, prepare our remaining forces for Operation Lazarus. Operation Lazarus, Marcus questioned. But that's theoretical. We never even finished the simulations. Chen's smile was fierce. Theory just became reality. The Nexarians want to force evolution on humanity. Let's show them what real human evolution looks like. Operation Lazarus began not with a bang, but with silence. Throughout Earth's remaining defense installations, quantum cores powered down one by one. The Nexarian fleet, detecting the energy signature drop, pressed their advantage. Their massive construction project continued in lunar orbit, the crystalline structure growing ever larger as it prepared to initiate planetary-scale conversion. In the Himalayan Command Center, Admiral Chen watched the enemy's advance with calculated calm. Status of the quantum virus. Maya looked up from her station, where she'd been working for 48 straight hours. Distribution complete. The converted personnel are all in containment, and we've managed to isolate the nanobot control frequency. Marcus, the quantum physicist, nodded grimly. The Prometheus engine is ready. We'll only get one shot at this. If the calculations are off by even a fraction, we'll tear reality apart. Better that than surrender, Chen replied. She opened a channel to the remaining forces. All units prepare for final sequence. Remember, timing is everything. High above Earth, the Nexarian commander watched with satisfaction as humanity's defenses crumbled. Their victory was all but assured. Soon, Earth would join the countless other worlds they had elevated to their idea of perfection. The massive conversion matrix neared completion, its crystalline structure ready to broadcast the transformative nanobots across the entire planet. Then everything changed. Deep within Earth's quantum network, a virus of human design activated. But unlike traditional computer viruses, this one operated on quantum principles, existing in multiple states simultaneously. It spread through the Nexarian neural network, carried by the very nanobots they had used to infiltrate Earth's command structure. The effect was instantaneous and devastating. Throughout the Nexarian fleet, systems began to fail as the quantum virus rewrote their base programming. The converted humans in containment convulsed as their nanobots received new instructions, their crystalline growths shattering as human consciousness reasserted control. Quantum virus deployment successful, Maya announced. Their entire network is compromised. Chen's eyes narrowed. Now, Dr. Zhang, initialize the Prometheus cascade. Marcus took a deep breath and activated the sequence they had worked so frantically to perfect. The Prometheus engine, humanity's greatest achievement in quantum engineering, began to pulse with otherworldly energy. But instead of trying to contain its power, they did the opposite. They let it flow freely through Earth's defense grid in a carefully orchestrated pattern. The results defied conventional physics. Every disabled defense platform, every compromised facility, every quantum core that had gone dark suddenly resonated with new purpose. The Nexarians had assumed they were witnessing humanity's surrender. Instead, they had watched humanity lay the groundwork for the most ambitious trap in human history. Operation Lazarus is a go, Chen commanded. All units, execute final sequence. Across the globe, quantum cores reactivated simultaneously, but they weren't drawing power. They were channeling it. The Prometheus engine's energy cascaded through the network, amplified by each node it touched. The pattern of activation wasn't random. It followed Earth's natural ley lines, turning the entire planet into one massive quantum processor. The Nexarian commander realized too late what was happening. Their conversion matrix, nearly complete, began to resonate with the quantum cascade. The very principles they had used to transform other worlds were being turned against them. Dimensional inversion in process, Marcus reported, his voice tense with concentration. The matrix is being reprogrammed at the quantum level. Maya's eyes widened as she decoded the alien transmissions. They're trying to abort, but they can't disconnect. The quantum virus has locked them into their own network. In orbit, the massive crystalline structure began to pulse with new energy, not the cold, alien light of Nexarian technology, but the warm, chaotic brilliance of human innovation. The conversion matrix, designed to transform an entire planet, was instead transforming its creators. Final stage, Chen ordered. Dr. Zhang, initiate the quantum collapse. Marcus activated the last sequence, and reality itself seemed to hold its breath. The Prometheus cascade reached its peak, creating a quantum feedback loop that trapped the Nexarian fleet in a state of perpetual transformation. Their ships, their technology, even their consciousness began to break down and rebuild itself according to human parameters. When it was over, the threat wasn't destroyed, it was converted. The Nexarian fleet hung motionless in orbit, their crystalline structures now resonating in harmony with Earth's quantum field. The conversion matrix, reprogrammed by human ingenuity, had become a bridge between species rather than a tool of forced evolution. In the command center, the team watched in awe as the first communication came through from the transformed Nexarian commander. The voice was different now, neither human nor alien, but something new, something that represented the true meaning of evolution. We understand now, the voice said. True elevation cannot be forced. It must be earned, chosen, fought for. Humanity has proved itself not by surrendering to change, but by mastering it. Admiral Chen stepped forward. Will others of your kind come seeking conquest? They will come, the commander replied, but not for conquest. They will come to learn. Today, humanity didn't just defend itself. It showed the galaxy a new way forward. Evolution through cooperation, not domination. Growth through choice, not force. As the sun rose over Earth's horizon, painting the quantum-touched crystalline ships in brilliant colors, Chen looked at her team. Maya, Marcus, Rodriguez, and all the others who had fought so hard to save not just humanity, but the very concept of free will. Send word to all commands, she ordered. The war is over, but our real work is just beginning. Today, we start preparing for a future none of us could have imagined. One where humanity leads not through force or fear, but through the very qualities that saved us: innovation, determination, and the unshakable belief that the best changes are the ones we choose for ourselves.